Hey, honey.
Yes, Barry?
Let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Where do we always go?
Fascina el viento, este ritmo de palmas, sin mi naturaleza, hasta encontrar la playa. Por eso grito al mundo, yo soy de Puerto Vallarta. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta.
Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. I'm your host, Barry Kessler, and I'm just so happy to be introducing you to my favorite vacation destination. Hey, maybe it's even yours, and that's Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. That music you're listening to was performed by Alberto Perez, and Alberto is the owner of the Lapa Lapa group of restaurants. Those are the Lapa Lapa, Puerto Vallarta's oldest restaurant on the famous Los Muertos beach, and then there's the El Dorado Restaurant and Beach Club right next door. So you can enjoy that fantastic view of the Los Muertos Pier, all lit up at night in beautiful colors, or during the day in its grand splendor for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, seated with your toes in the sand right at the water's edge. It's so romantic. It's so Puerto Vallarta, my friends. This week we are going to take a look under the surface of the Bahia de Banderas. You're going to be meeting underwater photographer Samuel Resendiz. He's going to tell you about the sea creatures that lurk in the warm waters of Puerto Vallarta's vast bay. Samuel's family is actually famous in Vallarta historical lore. He'll be talking about that as well as his passion, which is underwater photography, and he transforms that into art and to giftware. We are going to also take a quick run up the Rio Quale. We're going to revisit one of my favorite little getaways, restaurant El Moro Paraíso. We're always in search of the best margaritas in town, of course, and they have a very good one, I must tell you. But before we get to our buddies at Restaurant Moro Paraíso and to Samuel, let's see what's happening this week in Puerto Vallarta, the 22nd of August, 2023. If you happen to be in town back on Friday, August the 4th, and if you were lucky enough to be at the Mercado over at the Emiliano Zapata market there, where all the vegetables and fruit markets are there, where that really squeaky tortilleria is, where the butcher is, and there's the cheese sellers, all the people hang out there. Well, if you happen to have been there, then you might have caught this very cool event. It was a cooking contest. It was called the Taste of Competition. And here's an article from the Banderas News. It reads, Vallarta's first Taste of Competition cooking contest is a success. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, an exciting cooking contest took place on Friday at the Emiliano Zapata Municipal Market, featuring the first edition of the Sabor en Competencia event, or the Taste of Competition. 5 chefs from different Puerto Vallarta restaurants prepared delicious dishes using fresh products available daily in this traditional shopping space. The mayor, Professor Luis Alberto Michel Rodriguez, attended the event, which was supported by various agencies, including the Municipal Markets Directorate and the Tourism and Economic Development Department, in strategic partnership with local vendors and the National Chamber of the Restaurant Industry and Seasoned Foods. Puerto Vallarta Riviera Nayarit. The event was a unique success that strengthened local commerce and attracted more visitors to Puerto Vallarta's municipal markets. During his speech, Mayor Michel expressed gratitude to all those who made the competition possible, emphasizing the significance of promoting events like these to attract tourists interested in savoring Mexican cuisine. He highlighted the abundance of farm fresh products available at the Emiliano Zapata Market, showcasing the importance and tradition of shopping at local markets. Cecilio Lopez Fernandez, head of the municipal markets, praised the 5 culinary artists and their assistants who participated in the contest, using locally sourced ingredients from the market. He stressed that promoting public markets supports the internal economy, benefiting national producers and encouraging financial interactions and harmony with local vendors. The contest rules allowed participants 10 minutes to acquire their ingredients within the market and 40 minutes to prepare their innovative, colorful, and flavorful dishes. The competing chefs included Alejandra Osri Delgado Garcia from Masa May Restaurant, Antonio Cabrera Saldana from Tienda Grande Restaurant, Manuel Pedro Vicente from Mariscos Tinos Restaurant, Javier Cruz Colmenares from Mi Querencia Restaurant, and Rogelio Ramirez Pera from Que Bola Restaurant, each supported by their assistant chefs. The judging panel, consisting of Aron Costaneda from Tinoque Restaurant, Elise Ortega Rivera, a gastronomy professor at Universidad Vizcaya, and Jory Rodriguez Razo, a chef from the UVC gastronomy program, evaluated the flavor, presentation, and originality of each dish. The top honor went to Chef Alejandra Osri Delgado Garcia from Masa May Restaurant for her dish titled Tierra, Mar y Sal, representing the essence of the port city's cuisine. Chef Rogelio Ramirez Pera from Que Bola Restaurant secured second place, followed by Restaurant Tienda Grande in third place, and Mariscos Tinos and Mi Querencia restaurants claimed the fourth and fifth spots respectively. The participants, agencies, and artists involved in the event received well-deserved recognition from the authorities and from the market vendors. The article continues, but we will just say, wow, it's a very, very cool event. I hope that they'd have it again. It's a great way to show off the wonderful young talent in the restaurants that are all along the bay, but also the fact that you can get your hands on everything you need to put together one of these great meals that you might find here in Puerto Vallarta, like a one-of-a-kind meal like they made over at this competition. And, you know, the municipal market is pretty impressive, of course. They got all kinds of things there, everything that you would ever need. And, well, that whole competition was all about the fact that you can get anything you want at the municipal market. You can find the article from the Banderas News in the show notes. And once again, I hope they do it again. What a creative event. Speaking of the municipal market, Salud Superfoods, a staple here in Puerto Vallarta. They lost their lease on their place over on Olas Altas, and they're moving up to the municipal market. Here is a Facebook post from them from just a couple of days back. It reads, "We loved seeing you over the years, and we look forward to serving you at the Emiliano Zapata Market. Our last day on Olas Altas is Saturday, August 19th, which of course has already happened. It's already come and gone, so they are closed right now. After a short break, you can find us early October at the market." And the note is signed Salud Superfood. So it looks like if you want to enjoy that yummy goodness that Salud Superfoods has to offer many years now to all of us, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait for them to open up in their new location over at the Mercado. They're going to be over on Lázaro Cárdenas and Chamichin. They're going to be right next door to the Fruteria California. So easy to find. Sad that they lost their lease, but really happy that they're going to end up in a really nice spot. And they're going to be right there with the fresh fruit and all the veggies. I mean, they're going to be right there with all the stuff that they use. Now, last time we got together, we talked about rain and we talked about water problems. And Vallarta just got some rain from Hurricane Hillary, which just passed by here. Here in Los Angeles, it dropped about 3 inches on us. We even had a little earthquake, which made it even more interesting. But surprisingly, waves that were caused by Hillary, Hillary just kind of went by Vallarta, but the waves did a big number on Turtle Camp. They lost a ton of sand. And, everything came, the waves basically came within inches of losing some of their nests. They've got the nests up on the high ground, but, it went all the way up there. I have a post from Nan over at Campamento de los Tortugas in Boca de Tomates. She says, "Help us, please." It says, "We are the only destroyed area from the passing of Hillary, and we need strong help with awareness of dangerous conditions." So this is not for kids, she says. You'll need gloves, you need proper footwear, hat, plenty of hydration, she says. This is the strongest plea yet. We need anyone that can dig, haul, or fill a sandbag. She says, "We're inches from losing so many precious nests, and we hope that you can heed the call and spread this post," which I'm doing right now. She talks about the best parking is over at the beachhead over at Boca Negra Street for access to the camp. I have a embed of the video that shows all the destruction that was caused by the waves that were churned up by the passing hurricane, and it's right there in the show notes. You can find it at www.PuertoVallartaTravelShow.com. And if you are in town right now, it might be too late to do what she wants to do, but get in touch with the folks over at the camp and see what you can do to help them out. The tides are always moving. They're always moving stuff around over there at Turtle Camp. They're right on the beach. They're literally, as I've said before, they're literally building castles in the sand. And when we have hurricanes and we have, weather events like this or that last one that we had, they can be real game changers. It could change everything. Anyway, I have contact information in the show notes for Turtle Camp if you want to get a hold of them. Keep them in your thoughts. And also, I mentioned last week the rains have arrived in Vallarta, but the water problem still exists. And even though this particular article I'm going to read from came out last month, it kind of helps to illustrate the issue. This is from Vallarta Reporter Online. Numerous residents have reported that lack of water continues to be a problem in the same neighborhoods as before the rains came, even though CIEPAL has stated that the water level of the wells and supply tanks have risen. CIEPAL Director Jorge Castillo Nunez had made a commitment on June 29th that drinking water service would become regularized within 21 days after the rains began. He also said that the valves on the water pipes would be managed in such a way as to assure that the same neighborhoods would not always be the ones without water service, but that has not happened. Some of the neighborhoods that continue to suffer from the lack of water at the beginning of the week are Guapanole, La Floresta, El Mangal, Morelos, and Paven, and Loma Bonita, among others. Merchants are also complaining that their water regularly gets cut off without notice. Added to this problem is the water bills are double what they were last year, which is being received rather poorly, to say the least, by customers who are not receiving water at least 4 days a week. I have a link to that article, and then there's this article, by the way, from Vallarta Advisor as well. It says the current mayor of Vallarta blames the last guy for his problems. The article reads, Mayor Michel blames the previous administration for water shortages. Mayor Luis Michel Rodriguez blamed last administration's Movimiento Ciudadano party for the lack of water in Puerto Vallarta and announced that the problem would be solved in approximately 2 months, contrary to what he promised with neighborhoods and neighbors during their last protest demonstration. He said that there's a lag that we have. In the past administration, there was more than 2 billion pesos of work that was not done. That has repercussions in this administration, but regardless of that, we are restoring the water service, doing more wells, and cleaning the ones that are already there so that in short time, everyone will have water, which on occasion, due to storms, the power goes out and the wells stop working. I spoke with the director of CIEPAL and director of operations of the system, and they say that in a month and a half, 2 months, everything will be restored because 2 larger pumps will be requested. However, the commitment that the mayor signed during the protest demonstrations on June 29th with residents of several neighborhoods in Puerto Vallarta was that the problem would be solved in 20 business days. The deadline was July 27th, but the problems were not solved. Now the neighbors are even more upset because the promise was broken. In addition, Ciapal did not test what little water there was, and when they do have water, it comes out dirty, and it has caused skin problems. The residents have also not been given their promised water service discounts, and this is something that has been dragging on. It's not a lack of capacity because they continue to operate the drinking water system. The only thing that's changed was the director. It's not a lack of knowledge, said Michel, adding that part of the problem is the permitting of many buildings without first verifying that the water service can be provided adequately. So there you go. It has to do a little bit about growth. And of course, we thought that it was just your politicians that blamed their predecessors for all the current problems that they're suffering through. No, you're not special. Everybody does it. All politicians do it. And by the way, speaking of politicians, in Mexico, elections are coming up next June, 2024. Yep. Everyone's going to be voting next year. Not just in Mexico, I guess. Anyway, voters are going to be electing a new president to serve a 6-year term. There's going to be 500 members of the Chamber of Deputies that are going to be elected and 128 members of the Senate. Article 83 of the Mexican Constitution restricts incumbent President Andrés Manuel López Obrador from seeking re-election. And, right now, it's all begun all over Vallarta and all over Nayarit. You're going to start seeing all the posters. You're going to start seeing, for example, there's one that's called #MejorMarcelo, if you want to know who he is. Mejor Marcelo is Mexico's foreign relations secretary who resigned from his post so that he could run. He is from the Moreno party. He's running for president, and the signs that say Es Claudia, #Es Claudia, that refers to Claudia Sheinbaum. She's also from the Moreno party, and she is currently, or I guess she still is, the mayor of Mexico City. And she is the person who got the nod from the president of Mexico. President Manuel López Obrador has given her the nod to succeed him as president of Mexico. So now you know what those signs and those posters plastered all over the place mean. You've got #Es Claudia, that's Claudia Sheinbaum, presidential candidate from the Moreno party, and then #MejorMarcelo, foreign minister, also from the same party, both running for president of Mexico. So be ready. We've got to have a lot of politicking here. 2024, it's going to be a crazy year, folks. For those of us who like to collect Vallarta nostalgia, I noticed that the folks over at La Palapa have a really nice tabletop book that you can buy. And their Facebook post reads, "We are so excited to announce that our new book, La Palapa, A Taste of Paradise, is now available. It's a wonderful book filled with history of La Palapa and Puerto Vallarta, recipes. There's going to be historical photos and more, available now for $980 Mexican. So that's not bad. I embedded that Facebook post in the show notes. And so have a look. If it's something that you might want to, buy or maybe give as a gift, the holidays are going to be sneaking up on you before you know it. So keep that in mind for friends who are lovers of Puerto Vallarta, or, yourself, because you are a lover of Puerto Vallarta. Otherwise, why are you listening to me? The dollar continues to weaken against the peso. It's still taking a beating. Last month things got worse if you have U.S. dollars, but if a little bit better if you had Mexican pesos. From Mexico News Daily, this is from the business section. The peso strengthens again, reaching 16.62 to the U.S. dollar. The Mexican peso appreciated on Friday morning to its strongest level since late 2015, reaching 16.62 to the U.S. dollar before weakening slightly. That position was an improvement of 26 centavos, or about 1.5%, for the peso compared to the U.S. dollar. The rate of 16.88 at the close of trading on Thursday. One greenback was trading at 16.68 pesos at 10:30 in the morning, Mexico City time, according to Bloomberg. The article goes on to say that analysts cite the Bank of Mexico's high benchmark interest rate, currently sitting at 11.25%, and the significant difference between that rate and that of the Fed as one factor of the current strength of the peso. Strong incoming flows of foreign capital and remittances are also among the other factors cited. Now, farther down in the article, it notes that the latest strengthening of the peso comes 3 weeks after the U.S. dollar dipped below 17 for the first time since 2015. The peso has appreciated by around 15% this year, after beginning at 2023 at 19.5 to the dollar. So, ouch. Not good. I mean, well, if you got a dollar, it's not good if you want to buy a peso. I have a link to that article in the show notes. Now, last time I was down, I'm looking at my receipts last July here. One of them I went into a Cajero here over at, where was it? I think it's Banco Santander. Yep, there it is. So I got 15.9 pesos per dollar that one day. 2 days later, I got 16.2 pesos for $1. So hanging around 16 pesos is pretty painful, going from what, we are used to, like 19 pesos, or at least I am, 19 pesos to the dollar. At the beginning of the year, that's kind of where it was. And now we're sitting at around 16. So we'll just keep an eye on that situation. Now, what wasn't painful was the pair of airline tickets that I purchased for my wife and I. We're going to be back in paradise for Dia de los Muertos again. It's going to be our second stab at it anyway. Remember, I told you that would I recommend going to Dia de los Muertos? And I said yes, and I'm doing it again. But these tickets I could not resist. They were $235 each round trip. We're taking Alaska Airlines, Los Angeles nonstop to Puerto Vallarta. Great deal. Anyway, I hope when I'm here, when I'm in Vallarta, I hope that I can see some of you at what I'm going to have an upcoming meet and greet. We're going to have an open microphone thing because we always have one. They're always great. And we'll talk about that as the date approaches. But according to my calendar, we're still over 65 days out from that. So we got a little ways to go. Get back to work, Barry. Stop thinking about vacations. I have a couple emails that I want to share with you, but I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to wait till next week. Thanks for the emails. All of you who are sending them, please keep them coming. I'll get back to some of you who I haven't gotten back to yet, as a matter of fact. But I really appreciate them. They really, really mean a lot to me. And when you send an email, it means a lot to my listeners, too, because I can share with them as well. Let's get to our first interview, shall we? Now, we, as you know, have been in search of the honest margarita in paradise, one that packs a punch for a decent price, and a margarita that's not in a little itty-bitty glass. We're looking for one that's in a big glass, one of these fishbowl glasses, the old-fashioned kind. I'm going to make a list. I'll put it up on the Facebook page. But there was one that I almost forgot, and I go there a lot when I'm in Puerto Vallarta. It's one of my favorite spots. It's called Restaurant El Moro Paraíso. It's up in Paso del Guayabo. It's if you go past El Rio Barbecue, or what used to be El Rio Barbecue, you would eventually get to this particular restaurant, Moro Paraíso. Now, we did an interview up there about 4 years ago. If you're a listener of the show, you will remember it. It was back in April of 2018, as a matter of fact. And if you need to if you want to know how to get there, you take the number 4 bus. You can take it from the romantic zone and catch that to the end of the line. It goes all the way to the end in Paso del Guayabo. The bus pulls off, gets off the road into a little slip there, and you get out, and then you walk up the road into the ejido up there, about a kilometer or so, and you're walking along the Rio Quale, so it's not hilly. It's actually a very nice road. It's pretty easy. It is a little bit of an incline, but nothing that would bother you really if you're mobile enough to walk and do a little hiking. But the walk's easy, like I said, and you're going to see a lot of butterflies, lots of butterflies all along the Rio. It's a little butterfly preserve there. You can take an Uber. You can even take a cab up to Morro Paraíso, but it's really important that you arrange with the driver to pick you up at a certain time and, to take you back to town. Otherwise, it can be a long, drunken walk, okay? Because you're going to be having some yummy margaritas and you're going to be walking downhill a little bit, and it's no bueno, okay? It's not really good to do the walk, hike thingy for at least the whole thing, right? Now, over at Morro Paraíso, they do have internet, so you can hook up to their stuff up there at El Morro. So I suppose that you could summon an Uber that way. I'm not sure. I didn't try to do it that way. Or you could, if you're going to take the bus, you can walk back to the bus stop. Or if you didn't, if you had an Uber drop you off there, you could walk back to the bus stop and take the bus back into town. The walk is downhill, right down the road, nice easy one, right over to the bus stop. It's only 10 pesos is all it's going to cost you to hop on that bus and take you downhill. And even though you might be stumbling drunk, you're stumbling downhill, and so it's not too bad of a walk. And it's only, if you're going to go to that particular bus stop, it's only, like I said, a little less than a kilometer from El Morro Paraíso. So there's all kinds of ways. I've done it. I've done the walk many times. We've taken the Uber. We've done everything. This time we took an Uber from Vallarta Factory. And by the way, if you happen to be a lover of the mocha frappe thing, those yummy frappe drinks, Vallarta Factory over on Insurgentes and Libertad, we've been there before. They're right on the corner there. They're the chocolate factory. They used to have cigars. They put all the cigars away. They used to have a little humidor, but I don't know. Since the smoking rules came in effect in Mexico, they got those either hidden away or I don't know. They're not to be seen. But anyway, they do. If you are the lover of the mocha frappe mocha, whatever you want to call it, they have the best in Puerto Vallarta. I can tell you that right now. So anyway, the Uber driver who lived in Vallarta, by the way, and had never been to Morro Paraíso, drove us up to this cute little restaurant, which is, of course, right along the Rio Quale. It's a colorful and welcoming place. It's away from the hustle and bustle of the city. And right there you can enjoy a delicious Mexican meal, dishes full of flavor. They've got a barbecue. They've got an honest margarita served in one of those fishbowl glasses. And to tell us a little bit more about that, let us go right now up there and let us meet Javier Centeno, one of the friendly faces that you will meet when you come to El Morro Paraíso in Paso del Guayabo, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Hey, Javier, thanks for talking with me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for coming, really. I to try with speaking very well English, eh?
Yeah. Your English is really good, Javier. I don't have to worry about you, brother.
Yeah, thanks. I to try, yes.
All right, so we are now at El Morro Paraíso. Mm-hmm. How long has this restaurant been here?
Here is day with the 18 years old.
Wow, so it's 18 already.
Yes, already. Yes. ¿Cuándo abrieron? ¿Cuál es el primer día de cuándo abrieron, Chuy? Aquí, ¿cuándo abrieron? Okay, February 28 years.
Oh, wow. In
Yeah.
February, it'll be 28 years.
Yes, 20 years.
Fantastic. Okay. So, we are on the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. We are always on the lookout for the best margaritas in town. We like the ones that are in the big old glasses like you've got here. So, what kind of margaritas do you make here?
Okay, here is the classic margarita. Here's the Dr. Chuy, is the bartender. He really is the low brother for the real owner here, and he have 17 years old with the margaritas. He is making the classic. He had to put with the orange liquor, lime, and tequila. The tequila is the Santo Tomas tequila. This one, the tequila is the house tequila. It's for the family. The family tequila. It's very nice, really.
So it's made special for the restaurant for the family here, huh?
Yes, all is the family. The owner, the real owner, the name is Javier. Javier. He did that 4 years ago. And the Oscar is the new owner now. Is the son Oscar, and he is Javier. He's another brother. Another son. Is the two brothers. Is the Oscar and Javier, and Chuy is the low brother. Yes, and
So this is a family operation going on here.
yes, all those operations, all the family. Yes.
You have raicilla here too, yes?
Yes, I have raicilla, the best raicilla. The paso is the Malpaso, from Malpaso for the Tuito, for up the Tuito.
Okay, so this is way up in Tuito, and this is what you carry is the El Tuito, but the El Tuito raicilla.
The raicilla, yes, the real raicilla del Tuito.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Now, what are your hours? What days are you open? We're in the off season right now, so tell us what your hours are.
Okay, we have one restaurant working with for the RTB tours. Yes, we have the 2 or 3 tours every day. Yes, for maybe the people is coming maybe in another one tour is coming with 20 or 30 people. The another tour is maybe 80 or 8 people. It's totally different every day.
So you're not closing at all, man.
No,
You're here all the time.
Yes, it's all the years is open. But for working is the 11 o'clock at 6 o'clock.
Okay, so from 11 till 6, you can come here. You can be right by the river, way up the river. I mean, you're not quite over to Canopy River, but you can see Canopy River from here. And the food is great. They've got tell everybody about your menu. You've got ribs. What else you got there?
Okay, the most popular food here is for the barbecue. In the barbecue is cooking in the charcoal. We have carne asada or barbecue ribs, or I have with the flan steak. Or ribeye. The ribeye is great. This is the 12 ounce. It's coming with the potato salad. It's the making with the potato, bell pepper, onion, mushroom, and bacon. It's great, really. You need to try that's main. It's very good.
Oh, that sounds so good.
The ribs is the recipe. Is the secret recipe. Is the recipe for the family, for the barbecue ribs. Is coming with the cauliflower, carrot, zucchini, and rice. It's great, really. It's the beef, no pork. It's beef. It's great, really. It's the 3 bones. It's very good, really.
Fantastic. All right. Well, just remember that. If you want a steak, and before 6 o'clock, you want it maybe for an afternoon right by the river. You get yourself a steak, have a little raicilla, maybe have yourself a really nice margarita in a big old glass like they used to make. Yeah. And they still make here.
Yes, it's this special. The name is Chabela. Is the glass? The glass. The name of the glasses is Chabela. Chabela is special for here. And really, it's maybe it's 4 ounces for the tequila. It's very good. Really very good. And we have with the seafood same. Maybe the people is looking the another main. We have with the seafoods. We have the shrimps. I have with the fish. Every day is the catch of the day. Maybe one a day we have with the mahi-mahi, another day is red snapper. It's fresh every day. It's coming with the catch of the day. It's very good. We have with the bottle or garlic. Diabla. Diabla is a little spicy, but it's very good. And barbecue. Barbecue is sweet. It's bitter, sweet. It's very good, really.
Excellent. So all kinds of choices. It doesn't have to, and you probably have maybe even a vegetarian, right? You can sit and have a little, maybe some some nachos or something like that.
Well, yes, nachos, but really we have the nachos. It's coming with the beans and cheese. But really, do you looking for vegetarian sections? We have with the fajitas, vegetarian fajitas, or guacamole. We have guacamole or rice. Really, the restaurant is more for the people with the looking at the meat, no? But do you have a different section? You have the fajitas.
Right, exactly. So you can bring your oddball friend, that doesn't like meat. Bring him. I'm kidding. I know. Don't write me emails. I don't want to hear about it. I want to thank you so much for talking with me. Thanks for taking the time. I'll have your picture in the show notes. And, of course, you can find it at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. Thanks for having us over and talking with me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, really. I have coming with the people, with you feeling the experience for the food, and coming with the rivers. The river is very nice. It's the Quale Rivers. It's close to the Quale River. Maybe this right now is for the season rainy, but we to put with the table under, close the river, and you can to try and drinking with the close the river. It's very nice.
Right there,
Yeah.
drink.
I to say with the best time with the local people is the 1 o'clock at 3 o'clock. But for the tourists is coming with the 11 at 12 and another is the 3 at 5. Is the best time for the local people is the 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
Excellent. Okay, keep that in mind when you come on up here. And by the way, I got up here on an Uber. You can do it too. So, but tell your Uber to come back. You got to tell them what time. Otherwise, you got to walk. Got to walk down the hill. There's no connections or communications yet. Is there?
No, you don't have. No, sorry. I have with the here in the restaurant we have with the Wi-Fi. We have the Wi-Fi, but you don't have with the telephone. Really, it's not have a signal for this place. No, it's far away. You're too close with the Puerto Vallarta. Here's do you forget for the telephones and everything? Really.
Javier, I want to thank you so much for taking your time off and talking with me. I know you got to get over there and help those guys at the tables, but hey, for a real margarita and for just real Vallarta, like right by the river. This is the place on Moro Pari, so thanks, buddy.
Welcome, everybody, really. I have you coming with it's family style, and you enjoy everything. Yes, welcome to the Moro Paraíso. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Javier. I have a picture of Javier's smiling face as well as a picture of that margarita that we're always talking about. And also their house raicilla. Let me tell you something. It is excelente. Very, very good. I got pictures of all that stuff. I got pictures of the place. I got pictures of the food. I got pictures of the drinks. And a map that'll take you right there. Directions that'll get you right up to El Moro Paraíso. So get on over there. Oh, and those hours that Javier talked about, about between the ATV riders. It's a good idea if you want to have a nice, quiet time along the Rio Quale. It is a piece of old-style Vallarta, and if you haven't been there, well, you need to get up there. You need to get up there and go. Now, the next stop, we are going to be talking about underwater photography in the Bahia de Banderas. We're going to be talking with my friend Samuel Resendiz, and I met Samuel at the Saturday market over at Tile Park. It was last year when I ran into him, and Samuel had his display of all of his pictures, of his it's not paintings, but his photos. Samuel he's tall, he's a handsome young man, he's very soft-spoken, but very, very passionate about his art and about his craft. I mean, what he does is a science, in a way, taking pictures in an underwater environment. And, Samuel's going to tell you how he goes about taking photos of sea life in the bay. He's also very passionate about his birthplace, Puerto Vallarta, and he has some very interesting stories to tell about how his family came to Vallarta many years ago to help build the place that we know and love. So without further ado, let's head on over to a table on the beach in front of one of my favorite Vallarta restaurants, Cuates y Cuetes. Let's get our toes in the sand, sip on a limonada, and take a peek under the surface of the Bahia de Banderas and witness the beauty and the wonder of Samuel's underwater world, which he shares with you through his art, his photography, and things that he makes. So, let's meet Samuel Resendiz, underwater photographer, artist, and entrepreneur in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Samuel, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Barry. It's a beautiful day here in Puerto Vallarta.
You telling me. I love it here. And we are at Cuates y Cuetes enjoying, a view of the muelle that they're fixing right now. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you are, Pata Salada, you right?
Yes, I'm a Pata Salada. I was born here in Puerto Vallarta and grew up here. My family, both my parents, mother and father, are from here, from Vallarta. My grandfather, from my father's side, he came here to Vallarta to build the first schools, to build a church. He built the bridge on the river of Cuale. His name was Marcial Resendiz. He was an engineer who was living in Guadalajara, and they needed an engineer here to start building, all of that first buildings and developments here in Vallarta. So the company who he was working for sent him to Vallarta, and that's how it basically started.
Right.
He brought her wife and started family here. So my father was born, he was actually born in Guadalajara because there was no hospitals here.
Oh, right.
So they have to take them to be born there, and then he was here for after a few months.
Wow. So
yeah,
you're really, I mean, when kids were born, they had there was no hospital in Vallarta, right? Wow. So
yeah.
that must have been quite a trip in the day, right? To get to Guadalajara.
Yeah. From the stories that my father has told me, it was quite a trip, like you say, and an adventure, just to move around here, to move to Punta Mita, or to go surfing, or to do all the activities that we like here in Vallarta. It was an adventure of their own. So, yeah. So, saying that adventure, my father was very adventurous. He grew up in nature, very close to the ocean. So I think that's when my story started. It started with him being in the nature. See, because after that he transmitted that enthusiasm for nature to us, and that's a good part of what I do, what I'm doing now.
What you're doing now. So I imagine he had a boat, yeah, and that probably helped out a lot too, right? Yeah. We were very fortunate because we grew up. Well, Vallarta was very small, and we grew up close to the ocean. So that was the first thing that I hear when I listen, and the last thing I would hear at night. So there's right now, that's something that keeps dragging me towards the ocean, because that's where I feel comfortable and safe, because that's where I grew up. So he used to spearfish a lot. He was one of the first and best spearfisher here in Vallarta. When we were growing up, me and my brothers, we would spend a lot of time in the ocean, and he had a panga, like you say, and he would take us all the time fishing and snorkeling and spearfishing. So it was incredible. Yeah, wow. How cool is that? You were telling me earlier your dad had a restaurant, a very famous restaurant here in Vallarta. Want to talk about that? El Set, yeah.
Yeah. So that started because my grandfather was the engineer for the hotel that was building right beside where El Set is located now.
Uh-huh.
So he was the engineer there, and my father figured out that he can make a little money if he sold food to the workers that the hotel had, you know. So he started with a fonda, with a small place just for comida corrida, just for food for the workers. And well, he started first with a hot dog place.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
So
Can you wait? Just a minute, you guys. Now, just
Yep.
imagine, El Set started off as a hot dog place. Just so you know this, okay? All right.
yeah, so he started with that. He started with a small kitchen there, and then from there he invited a friend of his to started making it a little more formal and a little bit bigger. And many years after, he had El Set. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
From what I've heard, it was a beautiful place with beautiful views and good food and great times.
Yeah, it was. I remember it very well. All right, so let's talk about what you do. I mean, and let's talk about what's in the bay. I mean, because you take pictures. You take pictures underwater of sea life, of what's going on there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so photography for me started way before the camera got in my hands. I would, from when I was young, I would have this connection and sensitivity to the ocean because I grew up pretty much there. And yeah, I used to see all of those animals, and for me it was fascinating just to spend time there. So when I discovered that I could put a camera and just capture what I was seeing from when I was young and just share it, for me it just make a click inside of my head, and just like I knew that was what I was gonna pursue. So right now that's what I've been doing for the past 6-7 years, underwater photography. And since I live here in Vallarta and it's a beautiful place, I take advantage of that, and I portrait the wildlife that lies beneath the thin surface that not many people explore.
Right.
See? So yeah, there's so many animals, so much life, and we never see it. We just we don't explore it as often. See, so that's what I try to show, that we share this place with the wildlife that is here, and it's our home and it's their home too. So that's what I like to share, and that's what I with my vision and with how I see life, I try to put it in the photography that I do.
What do you use? What kind of camera can you use down in the water?
So I started with a GoPro that a friend of mine, he went to a trip to I think Canada, and he brought a GoPro, one of the first one that they made. And well, I started with that one because he needed money, so he sold it to me very cheap. So I was like, yeah, and that's with what I started. And many years after, I am very happy that I'm sponsored by GoPro.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'm sponsored by them, and I use GoPro, of course, and then I use a Sony that I have a housing, so I can put it underwater, and I have the full functions of the buttons and everything. So it's a small mirrorless camera, very compact but very comfortable to be underwater with, and since I do all of my work free diving, which means no scuba gear, no oxygen tank, having a small camera with me lets me be less intrusive with the environment. See?
Yes, yeah.
So I use those two, a Sony and the GoPro.
Very good, very good. Now, you are being a free diver. You're not going really, really deep. where are your favorite spots? Where do you like to see fish in this bay?
Yeah, it varies depending on the season.
Uh-huh.
Animals, depending on the temperature as well, they move around. So let's say right now during the summer, I like to go to the south of the bay from Conchas Chinas to Los Arcos area. Lots of turtles right now. So yeah, depending on the season, and like you say, I do all of this free diving, so that gives me a limited time to be there and to
Right.
solve the photography, because you have to solve the composition of the photography, and it's a beautiful challenge to have. Like, take a couple of deep breaths and then go underwater and then wait for something to show up, or just
Yeah, because you're not chasing stuff around. I mean,
No,
it's
no,
got to come to you, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's if you can get an animal to be curious, you're gonna get a good shot, because curiosity is the mother of interactions. See,
Uh-huh.
so you have certain moves that you make, or certain gestures, or some animals don't like the eye contact, so you just
You kind
play
of look
fool.
away.
Yeah, you play fool, and then they will come and check you out because they don't know what you are. And yeah, I have my tricks. I have
That's
my tricks.
interesting. Yeah, because you can't. If you're chasing a fish, they're not sticking around, right? They're the heck out of there.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you cover yourself in peanut butter? I mean, how do you get them to come over to see you? What happens there?
No. Well, all of these knowledge and tricks, they also come from my father.
Okay.
He used to use these same tricks to spearfish. So.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so many of these are from spearfishing, just applied to photography. So some animals, let's say, they don't like the change of color of your palms. So if I do a movement with my palms and I reveal the bottom of my palms, which is lighter than of course than the top of my palm, they will get
It'll scare
spooked,
them. Yeah.
get scared.
Yeah.
So I have to pay attention with that. Some animals, like I say, don't like the eye contact, so you have to play like fool, or don't look at them, and then position yourself, and then get ready and anticipate where they're gonna be. And yeah, there's so many things that you have to try to get in line to have a photo. But it's like I say, it's a incredible challenge, and I really enjoy it. There's nothing more that I enjoy more than being in the water and solving those compositions and seeing the animals, or just being there.
You ever have a fish, get so curious it wants to be your best friend and stuck around all day?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, all
you
kinds
see?
of animals.
You see that? It happens, right?
It happens. Yeah, especially when you go very often. Like I would spend many hours, like say 6-7 hours on a spot, trying to be patient and working on a composition, and trying to if something shows up to have a good photo. So animals get used to see you and get comfortable too.
Uh-huh.
So once they get comfortable and once they get curious, you have them. You can move, and you can just be very close to them, and they won't bother. They won't bother having you there.
All right, so be friendly to your fish.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and Samuel, what he does is he shoots them with a camera instead of with a spear gun. So they love him.
Yeah, I mean, I also fish as well. I try to live out of the ocean, so most of my protein that I get is from the fishing that I can have. Mostly spear fishing.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Okay, so
I also-
Samuel spearfishes too. Okay, all
Yeah,
right. But you don't trick him to come. No, you do, because you do,
yeah,
right?
Of course, yeah, of course. Yes, I have to take advantage of the knowledge. It's better to select the fish that I want to take, and be mindful of how I take it, and than just buying it from the supermarket that you don't know
Yeah.
how many fish they kill to get that specific fish that you want. So for me, it's and since I have this ability, I can take advantage of that and enjoy fresh food, me and my family. So Yeah.
You sure can. You sure can. Okay, so tell us about some of the dangerous fish that live in the bay. What lives in the bay that could kill you?
Oh, mostly other humans. Mostly other
Really?
humans.
Yeah. Okay.
From the banana boats, jet skis.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just you yourself. Since I do this free diving, I have to be very mindful of my body and everything. What I eat, how much oxygen I still have, and just be very aware of my senses. So the first danger is you pushing yourself too much. And animals, to be honest, I've seen everything that you can imagine, from killer whales to sharks to you name it. I've seen all of that, and they have never acted aggressively. But you have to be respectful. Like if you see that they are acting, I always give this example. If you see a dog that is barking and just being mad, you are not gonna pass right beside the dog.
That's right.
See?
Right.
So it's the same with other animals. Let's say I've been diving with 20, 30 sharks, and if I see that they are calm and that I can be there and they accept me, I'm gonna go there and take photos and be respectful. But if I see that they are acting very inquisitive or very or not aggressive, but very just
Look excited, maybe.
excited, then I have to back up and give the space that they want. So it's like that. If you're respectful and you know how to read the animals, nothing's gonna happen. But you don't wanna push them. You don't wanna like be invasive. So yeah, I've seen all of that, and nothing is dangerous, to be honest.
Good.
Yeah.
Now you said there's sharks. So there's sharks out in this bay.
Yeah. I've seen many times. I've seen sharks. I've seen silky sharks, hammerheads. I've seen how do you call it? Tiger sharks.
Tiger sharks.
Yeah, not
Or leopard
precisely.
sharks, or I guess, or leopard, or tiger.
No, not
tiger. It's
leopard.
tiger.
Yeah, tigers.
Uh-huh.
Not precisely very close to shore, but
Out there.
out there.
Okay.
See, sometimes when I go, let's say fishing, or I go to the deep sea, then you can see all of these animals, but none of them represent a danger. They are very, very minding their own business. And
Right. Good. How about when you said you saw some killer whales out there, huh?
Yes.
So and I did notice they do show up during whale season. So I guess they can be a little bit of a trouble for the whales. Yes.
Yes, they come here almost all year round, actually.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
During the whale season, they come for the calves, and then during the summer, they can come for the mobula race or the big banta race.
Uh-huh.
They also get those, or for dolphins. They're in top of the food chain, so.
Yeah, they are, and you got to watch out for those things too. I mean, they don't mess around those things.
Yeah, well, they're very intelligent. Like
Yeah.
I've been swimming with them, and they're super, super intelligent. Like they can differentiate from you to
To
another
a seal or whatever,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and then they're not gonna spend the energy on us. See,
uh-huh,
they would see you and they will go somewhere else. Yeah, but no, there is super beautiful animals to have here.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so but they are, they're no bueno for the calves, for the humpback whales that come here, huh?
Yeah, that's one of their food sources.
Yeah.
So they will come and they will teach their calves how to go after a prey, and that's what they do.
Yeah. All right, so you were talking about rays, manta rays, and stuff like that, and I've seen some beautiful pictures that you've taken of these rays. I mean, incredible.
Thank you.
They travel in big groups, like big schools. Is that how they move around?
Yeah, sometimes they travel in schools. and they are grouped for diverse reasons. Sometimes because they're mating season, sometimes because they're like traveling from one place to another, so they protect in numbers. And yeah, we have them here. We have them the giant mobile arrays. We have all kind of stingrays and eagle rays, all kinds of rays, and they're.
I was talking with my friend Edgar, who does he does all these festivals for like the tacos and stuff, and he says, yeah, we have stingray tacos. So, all right, how does that taste? Or have you tried it?
Yes, I've tried it, but it's a long time since I almost all of what I eat is from what I what I take. So I know there's seasons for some fish, so I take fish from the season, and yeah, so I don't take manta rays out. No.
Yeah, no. To me, it was surprising to me, right? I went, oh, really? Okay, I didn't really realize it, but I guess you can, right?
Yeah, and I know some of them they make it like machaca and estofado, and yeah, I bet it's good.
Okay,
but it's a long time, to be honest, since I had it.
To me it was very interesting.
Yeah.
So let's talk about food that comes out of the ocean. There's lots of octopus out here, yes? I mean, they're not all gone yet. They haven't been fished out yet.
No. There's still lots of octopus, lots of fish. Like I say, depending on the season is what you can get. Right now during the summer, there's a lot of mahi-mahi, there's a lot of tuna, yeah. But there's a lot of demand as well for fish. So this makes the fisherman have to go further every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's just out of necessity, right? I mean, it's not as close to the shore as it used to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. From the stories that I've heard from my father, who, like I say, was also a fisherman. Yeah, it's incredible how much less we can see here in the bay. Yeah. But what I try to do with my photography is to show what is still here and all of the ecosystem that we have in the ocean, because I think that that's a good way to bring people to see what's there, and once they realize what we're sharing, then it's gonna like awake something in them.
Open up their mind to it, eh? Right.
See?
All right, so with all these photos, with everything that you do, now you produce them and you make them into art, right? I mean, you're selling them. In fact, we met over at the market over at Tao Park. Mm-hmm. Tell us tell us about what you sell. How do you do that?
Yeah. So what I do is I go in the water. I find photographies that I really like and connect with me, and then I will print them and frame them, and sell them as art or as decoration. So that's what I do, and then as well I have a apparel brand and beachwear. I have T-shirts and beach towels and bandanas, rashwards, all that kind of apparel for the beach and that's also part of what I do. Okay. So all of that revolving the photography. See, so it all starts with the photography, and then from there I have different products.
Right. Yeah. You have a website for that?
Yes, I have a website. It's called samuelresendiz.mx. You can check out the prints that I have available there, and the T-shirts and all of my products there.
Very good. I'll have a link to that in the show notes. Of course, you can find it at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. And Samuel has also promised he's going to share some of his underwater photography with me, and I'll have those all of those pictures in the blog post. You'll have to go and see it and see his work, and see what he does. Make sure that when you do, come to Puerto Vallarta, when they're actually having the markets. Right now they're not, but when they're back in action, Samuel's there. Go say hi to him and all that stuff.
Yeah, I would be very happy to have a talk and to show you my work. I'm very, very passionate about it, and I feel like that's what I meant to do here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you do any traveling?
Well, I spend most of my time here in Puerto Vallarta. I do travel a little bit, but almost all of my work is going to be from here, from the Bay.
Yeah.
There's so much to see and so much to explore that I don't feel sometimes the urge or the necessity to be somewhere else. And when I travel, sometimes it's just with my girlfriend, and I take my camera and I.
Yeah, because she says, you're not taking that camera with you, are you, Samuel? And you go, no, dear, I'm not, right?
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. I don't take my camera, and I try to relax that part of my brain that is always trying to take photos and to share that. When I was younger, I finished high school here in Puerto Vallarta, and all of high school I was having different jobs, and I would sell brownies at school, and I would just find ways.
Wait a minute, what kind of brownies were you selling at school? No. Oh,
yeah.
okay, never mind.
Normal brownies, normal brownies.
Okay,
yeah. I didn't want to get in trouble.
No.
Yeah, so I started to make a little money out of that, and I used to work also at Café de Olla during the summers.
Oh, nice.
Just working all over. So my dream was to go to Europe and to do this trip, a backpacking trip, and just to know a little bit more about the world. So that's what I did when I finished high school. I told my parents, well, I'm gonna take 6 months off, and I'm gonna go to Europe. And they're like, yeah, with what money? And I had
you had the money, right?
I had the money.
You had the brownie money.
I had the brownie money. Yeah.
And the Café de Olla money.
Café
right?
de Olla money.
Yeah.
And I used to make parties as well with.
Oh yeah.
The only rule that my parents had with us, me and my brother, was when we wake up, everything has to be like nothing happened.
Okay.
So
okay.
we would charge, I don't know, like 100 pesos or something like that to get people in, and we will have a DJ, and we will have beer and all
look at that. Look at you. Yeah.
So
these guys, you know what? Sam Will was a good guy to know in high school, man. He was.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun, and then that also.
And then you went to Europe.
And then I went to Europe, and that changed. Like my perception of just made me appreciate Vallarta a lot more.
Yeah.
And then also made me realize that there's a lot of places to discover and to see, and lots of just food and people and everything. So that was incredible, and that also gave me an idea of what I wanted to do when I was older, which is always travel and meet people, and so that was a big break point for me.
Yeah. And so there you go. So you started early. You started traveling earlier in your life, didn't you?
Yeah.
And how long were you gone? How long did you go to the 6 months? How long did you last?
I did almost 3 months.
Very good.
Almost 3 months. I don't know how I make it with that little money, but it was great times for sure.
You made it work, didn't you?
Yeah. I would let's say I would go to the all of the museums and spend my money on that, and then I would sleep at an ATM machine because it had AC. During the summer in Europe. So I would do this stuff because I was just young and I didn't really care. So made me appreciate art, and also made me realize that I can do whatever I put my mind in.
No kidding. Yeah. Wow, that's so much fun. Wow. All right, well, let's come back to Vallarta. When you go out and you are doing your photography, are you on a boat and dropping yourself in somewhere, or are you coming off from the from the sand and going in?
Most of the time, I will dive from shore.
Okay.
Since I only take my camera, my fins, and my mask, I don't need much. I don't need a boat, and I know my spots. So usually it's from shore.
Right.
And every now and then, my friends from Ismaloya, they have a boat, Chipol and Rigo, and we will go out. And when they go fishing, so I will fish a little bit, and then they will drop me somewhere, and I would stay there with my camera for a couple of hours, and so I will do that every time that I can, maybe once a month or something like that. But most of the time it's from shore.
Very good, very good. Wow. All right. Well, we're gonna have a look at your underwater photography, which is incredible. And again, I'll have it in the show notes, and I'll also have some samples of his apparel wear as well. And of course, they'll be in the show notes, and there'll be a link. There'll be a link that'll take you right over to his website. Let's go away. Let's go into town and let's talk about restaurants and places to eat, because people want to know where, like, someone who lives here, where do they go to eat? And I know you're going to say, well, I eat at home a lot, but if you were going to go out for breakfast somewhere, where would you go? What do you like? You have a favorite spot?
Well, let me think.
Yeah.
I really enjoy La Playita in Conchas Chinas, just because of the view, and the food is good as well, but just the view and having the ocean right there, and it's usually very calm there. And also that's the beach where I grew up.
Okay.
So because my father had the restaurant there, so that was our playground. We were kids. We didn't have many neighbors, so it was me and my brothers just diving from there and playing at the beach.
You guys had that whole beach to yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had it all to yourself.
Most of the time it was ours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a very cool place, and spend the day there. And the thing is, it has so many good food here
Yeah,
that it's
true.
hard to choose. Like, depending on what you want to get, and we have everything here, to be honest.
Right.
But that's a cool spot. I really enjoy there. Where else? Let me see. Well, I love birria as well. So I will go to Robles. Robles here, I will go there. But yeah.
Yeah, so Robles, they've got a Robles in Pitial too. Are they the same family? Are they the same?
Maybe, yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
They have a couple of spots. I didn't know that one in Pitial, but yeah, their family is known for the birria. So
Right.
yeah,
So,
I
and they
would
do
guess.
it with the goat and the beef. They got both, right? They do
Yeah,
both, right?
They make both very good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about if you were going to go out for seafood and you weren't making it yourself? Where would you go?
Well, I really enjoy La Mara. They just opened a restaurant here close to Cuates y Cuates, to the pier. I really like there, and also my girlfriend likes it a lot. So
Oh yeah, you're stuck. You got to go.
Yeah. Where else? I love Balam. You know Balam? Balam is very good as
Tony
well.
over at Balam Balam. Huh?
Yeah, very traditional, like simple recipes. So I really enjoy that. Where else? Seafood. Freddy's in Versalles.
Yeah.
Freddy's is very good. I will usually go to those three places if I don't.
If you're not doing it yourself at home,
Yeah, if
right?
I don't do it myself.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you. If you were going to leave town and just go somewhere for a day, take a day trip, take your girlfriend, where would you go?
I usually go to Quimixto. Yeah, we love just nature and walking and just the ocean and mountains. So what we do is we drive to Boca,
Okay.
and from there we hike. We hike to Quimixto.
You do the hike to Quimixto.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about that, because I've hiked to Las Animas.
Yeah.
So the next beach down is Quimixto, right?
Yes.
So what is that trail like? Is it an easy trail?
Yeah, it's an easy trail.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an easy trail. No way to get lost. It's very,
Right.
very
Straightforward.
straightforward.
Yeah.
And it's only a little bit more from Las Animas, so it's worth it. And
Okay.
then once you get there, you can have a cold Pacifico or Corona, and that makes the trip even better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that we do very often.
And do you take a boat back?
And take a boat back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
After a Corona, you have to take a boat
Yeah,
back.
you do, right?
Yeah, and yeah, that's something that we enjoy a lot. Spending the day there, going to the river, and then to the ocean, and then taking the boat back.
Nice.
It's a one-day trip that it's magical. It's
Yeah,
magical.
and it's the whole day too, isn't it?
Yeah.
How about 3 days? If you had 3 days off, what would you do?
3 days.
Yeah.
I usually don't get 3 days, but
It's like, Barry, I don't get it. What are you talking about?
No, let me see. If I have 3 days, that means I'm gonna do something different. I will go to San Sebastian. Maybe I will go to San Sebastian just to disconnect from everything and to enjoy the weather and eat good food and walk a lot and sleep a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
San Sebastian is very nice, very calm. If Vallarta is calm, then San Sebastian is very, very slow, which I like.
Yeah.
The weather is great. The food is awesome as well. And I take my camera with me, so there's a lot of things to shoot different than what I do usually.
Right.
So, I would say San Sebastian.
Yeah, San
That would be
Sebastian.
a very good long weekend.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's an Instagram picture around every corner up there. I'll tell
Yeah.
you. Do you have a specific place that you stay when you go there?
Well, my grandfather has a house there,
So you stay there.
I stay there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, my father had a house there, so we would spend all of the weekends. They would pick us up after school, and then we would drive there. We make like 7 hours to get there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was.
That's a long drive.
It was a long,
back then,
long drive.
huh?
Yeah. So we would stay the whole weekend there for many years.
Wow.
For many years. So I have my friends there who are of my age, and the house of my grandfather with the fruits and everything. So yeah.
That's an easy way to go there for a 3-day weekend. Then.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice. If you were going to pick the most beautiful spot in Puerto Vallarta to show somebody, what is the most beautiful spot in Puerto Vallarta?
Let me think. I would say just wherever you can see the ocean. I really, really enjoy just seeing the ocean, and maybe where you can see a sunset. Sunsets here are great, are magical. So I think it's not really a spot. It's like something that you can appreciate. So wherever you can see the sun from, or the sunset from, I think that would be more than perfect. There's many cool spots, but those are secret spots. Yeah, those are many waterfalls, many beach that I can go and relax and. But I think the most magical part from Vallarta is just looking at the water and looking at the sunsets, and you don't need much more than that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's excellent. It's great. That is a great answer. You have a word of advice for someone coming to Puerto Vallarta for the first time?
Yes, I would say that if you're coming to visit, Vallarta is a magical place. Vallarta has everything that you would like, and it has a great combination of the mountains, the rivers, waterfalls, the ocean. parts of the city that it's like a big city, like good places to eat, and just enjoy and be very respectful of the locals and how we live. We're struggling to maintain our traditions that we have here, so don't try to impose something that is not from here. Keep that in mind, and yeah, just we're super happy to have you here as guests. We are very welcoming, very friendly, but just help us to keep it this way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the traditions,
Yeah.
the way that we all remember Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
And just nature-wise as well. Like we're struggling with the traditions of here, but also with the nature. See, every time it's less and less, and we're pushing it a lot. So just be very respectful with our surroundings. I would say that.
Absolutely. Any words of warning for somebody?
I would say Vallarta is the safest place you can be. To be honest, like if you're not looking for trouble, it's hard to get in trouble.
It sure is.
It's very hard to get in trouble. But
Yeah, so
like
don't, right?
yeah, but don't. Yeah, don't stay out of trouble. Just be very, very mindful that you would be in any other place that you don't know. You know,
Absolutely.
there's nothing specific to do or that. Just just try like be very, very, very mindful and respectful, and you're gonna have the greatest time.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. All right, let's come back. Let's come back to your art. Let's come back to your business here. Tell us how we can find you. You have the website. That's at...
Yes, my website is www.samuelresendiz.mx.
Okay.
And I have a Instagram account where you can follow my photography and my adventures. That's samuel.resendiz. That's how you can find me. Yeah, I always share what I'm seeing and answer if you have any questions regarding photography or just Puerto Vallarta itself. I love to share where I live and just the nature that we have here. So yeah, you can check it out there.
Absolutely will. And again, I'll have those in the show notes, and you can find it again at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. Samuel, I got to tell you, it's been a really great pleasure having a little more time than just meeting you and talking to you over at the market. Really been a pleasure talking with you, and I really want to thank you so much for allowing me to introduce you and your art and your family really to my audience. I truly appreciate that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you for your time. I really enjoyed talking to you as well, and I can tell you are very, very passionate about Vallarta and about what you do. So I can relate to that, and thank you again. And I really hope that your audience can come here and visit us and have a good time.
Thank you so much, Samuel. What a great interview. What a thoughtful man. Huh? I have links to his website. You can find all of his things at www.samuelresendiz.mx. That's SamuelResendiz.mx. I've got his Facebook, his Instagram pages, all that stuff in the show notes. You can find that, of course, at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. How many times did I say that today? I hope not too many. Anyway, check out his work online, or, if you happen to be in town when the Saturday market is running again. I think it's going to start again up in October, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's what I think. We'll find out. But you can find him over at Tile Park when that is rolling. He'd love to talk with you about his art and maybe about filling your home with some of his art. He's also got all kinds of, he's got towels, he's got giftware, he's got T-shirts, totes, all kinds of great stuff. You should go take a look at his website. You'll be impressed. In fact, you're going to be wanting to buy some of his things. That's for sure. All right. Well, that should do it for this week. Next week, stay tuned for more on-the-ground reports from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, with travel tips, great restaurant and excursion ideas, and more. But until then, remember, this is an interactive show where I depend on your questions and your suggestions about all things Puerto Vallarta. If you think of something that I should be talking about, well, please reach out to me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending us a message. And remember, if you're considering booking any type of tour while you're in Puerto Vallarta, you must go to vallartainfo.com. That's JR's website. Reserve your tour through him right from his website. Remember, this is a value-for-value proposition. His experience and on-the-ground knowledge of everything Puerto Vallarta in exchange for you're making a purchase of a tour that you would do anyway. You're just doing it through him as a way of saying thank you. Thanks, JR, for being our guide. It costs no more than if you were going to use someone else. So do it, really. And when you do take one of these tours, email me about your experiences. Maybe you can come on board and share with others what you liked or didn't like about the tour. Again, contact me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off a message. Don't forget, he's got his maps, his DIY tours, and I have links to all of those in the show notes. And once again, if you like this podcast, please take some time and subscribe, follow, share. Better than yet, share with a lover of Puerto Vallarta. Give me a good review if you'd like, wherever you happen to be listening. That way we can get the word out to more and more people about the magic of this place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Remember, I made it easy for you to do just that with each episode I create. But if you haven't been to my website, you really need to have a look there. I have links to the places that we talk about. I've got interesting pictures and more right there in my blog posts and in the show notes for each episode of the show. So check it out for sure if you haven't already. All right? All right. Thank you so much to Javier Centeno from Restaurant Moro Paraíso up in Paso del Guayabo. Get up there for atmosphere, get up there for barbecue and all their special dishes, as well as that killer margarita with a side of raicilla. Why not? I have a map and I've got some great pictures in the show notes. And thank you so much to Samuel Resendiz, underwater photographer extraordinaire. Check him out at his booth at the Olas Altas Saturday Farmers Market over in Tahoe Park, or check out his website over at www.samuelresendiz.mx and his Facebook and his Instagram pages. I've got all the links to all of those in the show notes. And thanks to all of you for listening all the way through this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. This is Barry Kessler signing off with a wish for you all to slow down, be kind, and live the Vallarta lifestyle. Nos vemos, amigos.
De Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Solo camino interno por la playa, me encuentro junto al río cuando todo está en calma. Pronto cae la noche, me brillas Puerto Vallarta, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. De Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar, samba de Puerto Vallarta.